the inverse. So Antonio, if I'm finding the inverse, what's the first step I got to do? Yeah, flip the x and the y. X is equal to the square root of y minus 3 plus 4. I flip my x and my y. Now what? Minus 4. I'm getting y by itself. X minus 4 is equal to square root of y minus 3. Square it. Good. I'm going to square it. It is square rooted, so I'm going to square it. So that means I need to put this side in parentheses to square it, and that side is going to cancel out the square root. So then I have x minus 4 squared equals y minus 3. And then all I need to do is just add that 3 over. So it's going to be the square root, or the square of x minus 4 plus 3 is y. That is my inverse. Just remember your 2 steps to find an inverse. Flip x and y and solve for y. Up, middle, down on those first 2 questions. We doing okay? All right. Okay, we're almost done. Most of this stuff is going to be review of what we've done in the past couple weeks here. We're going to go kind of quickly through it. Number 11, it says find the zeros and tell if it touches or crosses. Okay, so we're going to talk about multiplicity. So to find the 0, I'm going to set each one equal to 0. So when I set x squared equal to 0, what do I get? X is 0. Is that going to touch or cross? Touch. Why is it going to touch, Anthony? Because it's an even exponent. Because the exponent is even, it is going to touch. Let's look at the next one. Be careful here. X squared minus 16. I'm going to set it equal to 0. X is going to be plus 4 and negative 4. Plus or minus 4. Positive 4 and negative 4, because I'm going to take the square root. Why is it crossing? Not I got a 2 exponent. Why isn't it touch? It's the outside number that we're looking at. It's 2 different points, 4 and negative 4. We're looking on the outside right here. Since it's a 1 on the outside, we know they are both going to be crosses. It's going to cross at 4. It's going to cross at negative 4. And then my last one is x plus 2. So I'm going to set x plus 2 equal to 0. I get x is equal to touch or cross. Questions there, Rachel? Yes, if they were all odd exponents. Everything that has an odd exponent would be cross. Everything that has an even exponent would be touch. If that's your question. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll get to the question you're asking later when we're talking about exponents. So just hang on a second. Okay, because this one's squared, it's touch. Because this one on the outside of the parentheses, it's just a 1, it's cross. And that one, it's a 1 again, it's cross. It's odd, it crosses. Remember, what if this would have said x squared plus 16? It'd be plus or minus I, and it would be imaginary. So would it touch or cross? No, it just wouldn't be anything. Okay, it wouldn't be a root. Because we can't graph imaginary numbers. Okay, questions there? Second one there, it says talking about asymptotes. We have horizontal, we have oblique, and we have vertical. I will give us the chart. The easiest one to do is vertical. How do we find a vertical asymptote? Good. Kristen said it right. She said set the denominator equal to 0. So I'm going to set x minus 6 equal to 0, and it'll tell me I have a vertical asymptote at x is 6. That's the easy one. Vertical asymptote, do that first. Set your denominator equal to 0. The next one is talking about horizontal or oblique. And remember, that's when we had the chart up on the board for a long time. I'll quickly go through it. If your degree is less on top than the bottom, so like let's say it's 1 over 3, then it's y equals 0. If your degrees are equal on top and bottom, then we looked at leading coefficients. And if it was greater than 1 by 1, so let's say it was 3 over 2, then it was an oblique asymptote, and we had to do division, either synthetic or long division. I'll give you the chart. You'll remember how to do it once we get better at it. So for letter A, what is the degree of my numerator? What does degree mean? That means what's your highest exponent? What's my biggest exponent on top? 0. There's no x's on top. So it's 0. My degree on top is 0. What's my degree on bottom? 1. So my degree on top is 0. My degree on bottom is 1. it's going to be y equals 0. My numerator is less than my denominator, so I have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. Apparently we need to look back at that, and we will. What about letter B? On your letter B, what's your degree of your numerator? 1. What's your degree of your denominator? 1. So if they're the same, what do we look at? Leading coefficient. So it'd be y equals 3 over 1, y equals 3. Okay, remember that. We'll come back to it. If they're the same. Yeah, we first looked at the x's and we said, oh, this is a 1 and that's a 1. Since they were the same, that's when we looked what's in front of your x. What's in the leading coefficient? It's 3 over 1, so it'd be y equals 3. That's a horizontal asymptote.